Fantasy art history with Abelard and Joe.
Alright.
Oh, Abelard, hey, you're here.
Hey, Joe.
I was, you're not usually late. You're usually exceptionally punctual. That's
Yeah.
you. What happened? I was worried.
Oh, sorry, we gotta...
What do we gotta do?
Philip is the one who's...
Oh, dang!
Yeah.
You've muddied the water.
Yeah, because I've got two little guys now.
Oh no, get over here, Abelard. Let's start again.
Okay.
Fantasy art history with Abelard and Joe.
Enjoy the air conditioning, get a little exercise done.
Are you swimming again?
Yeah, I like it a lot. I mean, it takes me a long time to dry off, but it's... they say it's super good for you.
Yeah, it's hard in the summer for a sock.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you guys, it's not an easy life. We're not built for the heat.
Yeah, and you wear sandals, people laugh at you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awful. Oh, hey! Oh, he's here. It's Philip. Hey, pal, how you doing?
Hey, Joe. Hey, Abelard. Sorry I'm late.
Well, are you all set to do your segment? What, Philip, what happened to you?
The mailman
Okay?
usually drops my copy of the New York Review of Books right on my stoop at my door. But this morning he dropped it on the sidewalk and I had to carry it up myself. It's 2 big steps. But it's fine, it's in the house.
Well, I'm really glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you going to be okay to do your part of the show?
Yeah. No, I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
You're ready to
Yeah.
go? Do you want to do it right now?
Yeah, you can do it. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Well, friends, it's time again for everybody's favorite news segment on Fantasy Art History with Abelard Joe. That's right, it's... Oh wait, is it backwards? Here we go.
There you go.
There you go.
Philip's Literature Minute. Start.
Yay. Alright.
Okay, well, this week I read Wolf Hall by Hilary Mantel. What a great book. Everyone likes it. It got a miniseries, and they're right. It's fantastic. I think it's been a long time since I read something with so much popular appeal that was so well crafted. The perspective it has on its main character almost reminded me of Nabokov or something like that. Someone who's so canny and self-aware, but almost imperceptibly undermined by the text.
Wow. Was there anything you didn't like?
The one thing that I didn't like, too many people named Thomas in the book. The main character is named Thomas. There's a scene, at least one scene, where 2 guys named Thomas discuss a 3rd guy named Thomas while a 4th Thomas is in the room. A 4 Thomas scene.
Sounds rough.
Yeah, I said the main guy's named Thomas. You know who else is named Thomas?
Who?
Every single man in England.
Philip's Literature. Done.
Hey.
Well, that went pretty well.
Oh, he's doing good. He's got getting the hang of it.
That was snappy.
Yeah.
Who are we talking about today, Joe?
Well, today, Abelard, we are talking about the classic American illustrator N.C. Wyeth, who, although I just read the Wikipedia article about him, I cannot remember what those letters stand for, but they're weird. He's got 2 weird names.
I know the N is short for Newell, but I don't know what the C is short for.
Newell Cauliflower Wyeth.
Yeah.
You heard it here. Shall we hop right in?
Let's go and let's look at some of the work.
Okay, here we go.
Awesome.
Yep, it's pirates.
Would you say this is probably the best known set of illustrations that Wyeth did?
Yeah, I think it is widely held to be his masterpiece, which sadly for him it was like the first set of illustrations he published, so that's kind of that kind of sets you up for a frustrating life.
Yeah.
But everyone's right; they're extremely good.
They're exceptional. And these are illustrations for Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson.
Have you read that? I haven't read it.
I read it a long time ago, but I don't really remember anything about it.
I've heard that it's really, really good. I just haven't gotten to it yet.
Yeah.
Apparently, I'm assuming it has all of the classic pirate stuff in it, and
That's where we get the name Long John Silver.
yeah. And I think one of the great things about this illustration is that even though it lacks almost all context and has huge swaths of painting where there's just nothing happening, this contains every pirate thing.
Yeah.
He got them all in there.
The hats.
Yep.
The kerchief.
Yeah, what are these guys doing? Well, it looks like they're on the most minimalistically but perfectly suggested beach in the hot sun,
Yeah.
where the ocean has been reduced to just a swath, a beautiful curving swath of black. What are they doing? Oh, well, it looks like they got a pickaxe and a shovel, so they must be doing that classic pirate activity of burying something or digging something up on a beach.
Yeah.
Are they ready to have some sort of cutlass and shotgun battle? Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they're ready for everything a pirate might do.
Yep.
Some of them have shoes, some of them don't have shoes. They all look like they've been kind of out in the open air for too long.
They're wearing the pirate's iconic puffy shirt.
Yeah, it's all here. And most importantly, they're in a hurry. Because
Yeah.
something exciting is happening.
It's really propulsive. There's a lot going on with the composition. And we're going to see this basically for all the other illustrations. I think these are such sophisticated compositions.
Yeah.
So the background, as you said, is so flat. You could easily imagine taking the figures out and you just have this tidy little piece of abstract expressionism or like a sign for something or, you know. And then you have the figures, you have the birds, which are sort of incidental but keep things from being too resolved or too tidy.
You need them, right? Like they're doing something important up there in that corner.
Yeah.
Oof.
And then the figures themselves, there's an incredible sense. There is some kind of like many linear elements pointing in the same direction, but it's not so tidy. Like if you look at where the guns and shovels are pointing, they're not all exactly aligned.
Mm-hmm.
But there are subtle things going on, like the figure on the right's rifle. The sun is casting a shadow that's more parallel to the lines of the other guns. Things like that, and it's like beautiful action.
Yeah.
Well,
So this piece, which although I looked through as many of his works as I could find online before coming over here, the color treatment of this piece is pretty unique as far as I can tell. This was painted in oils. Like you can go to a museum and see it in a big, beautiful gold frame and everything. Was painted to be the sort of, I think it might be called the frontispiece, I don't know, but this was when you open the early editions of this illustrated book of Treasure Island, the picture on the back of the front cover and then the very first page as a spread was this image. So basically the first thing you see when you open the book.
Cool.
I don't know how you get to this decision because the rest of the paintings in the book are traditionally fully colored with all the colors. It's just this one. And maybe it had something to do with the fact that your kind of end papers of a book tend to be more of a sort of graphic design type thing. So he's like, well, I'll just paint this up and it'll be 2-color printing and it'll be really graphic. But it's, it doesn't, more colors would kill this. It's so good the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
The incredibly intense raking light. And I think that one thing to the shadows being cast by the men on the sand, the amount of work that is doing to tell you about what time of day this is, like where the light's coming from, to kind of like set them on a ground so they're not just in space.
Yeah.
Is so that's so key. It's so beautiful. Like that's the element that makes this not, it's like realistic in a way. And I think that's kind of the weird tension in a lot of these works, which are, you know, beautiful painterly illustrations of, like, you know, stories of the Wild West and pirates and like chivalric fantasies or whatever. He paints this stuff like he watched it happen, you know, outside his house or the woods nearby in Pennsylvania or whatever. Like, no matter, even when he seems to be trying to paint things that are in a more sort of like heightened or fantastical zone, it still looks like some guys were really there and he saw them.
Yep. So even though the figures are all, you know, propulsively running in one direction, it's not, to me, they're not posed in a like graphic, super heroic kind of way where they're really extreme lines of the body.
Yeah, you were saying earlier that this is like the action, the excitement of what's going on here is a huge deal, but it's not like comic book action.
Right, because in comic book action, almost always, I would say the better comic book action, characters are doing extreme poses, like the ones, you know, from our Jack Kirby episode. Mm-hmm. Because the panel isn't actually capturing them in a moment. A panel is actually a slice of time. And so the pose of the character is a gesture toward the range of poses they take in that time slice. But this feels more like a snapshot. Like these figures are actually caught in a single instant. And they have, rather than comics using this kind of symbolic posing language, these figures are carrying their weight in a realistic, pragmatic way. Like this is how physically burdened people carrying stuff might move in a group. Like this is how you would throw your weight forward as you're running. Or in a way, to me, like they almost look like they're stalking forward quickly. Like they're placing their weight on both feet. And they're going off to do something, but it's more of an energetic trudge than a full run.
Yeah. This is, we started looking at, actually, the NC Wyeth paintings because we were having this conversation at a local cafe where, for some reason, they had a copy of the great book Dinotopia. So we were looking at a little Dinotopia earlier, and I bring this up because you mentioned something that looks like a photograph, and there are people and this is James Gurney's Dinotopia. There are images in that book where it's clear that he is painting from a photograph. Mm-hmm. And the way that you can tell that is that you're looking at a person and they are totally anatomically correct and they are standing in a way a person would stand, but they're not, they have an awkwardness to them. The awkwardness that comes from this being a photograph that is a random, like, millisecond. Yep. So you're if you might be moving, but you're not expressing anything with that movement because it's just like something that your body was doing as you were taking one step to the next. And I know that there are photographs of people moving where it looks like, you know, they are moving in a beautiful way, but those photographers, like with skill in editing and picking the photograph where the movement looked the most natural, the point I'm trying to make essentially is that even if a photograph captures a natural movement, taking that away from the passage of time does not necessarily give you an actual realistic sense of that movement.
Yes, it's easy for things to look stiff or floaty or unnatural.
Yes, but this does not look like this. this. This looks like when I think of people striding forward on a beach, this is, I would be able to picture it this well because I'm not as great of an artist, but this looks right to me. And I could take 300 photographs of people walking around a beach or even trying to pose like this, and I don't think any of them would look right like this does.
I think that there's a lot to create that sense of motion. There's a lot being done by just the shadows, the spots of dark and the spots of untreated white, all taking these really interesting, satisfying shapes. Like if you just look at the shadow around the feet, that's a really interesting shape for things to take. It's fun to follow with your eyes, and the way it interacts with the white is like a very fun interaction of positive and negative space. And like the line on the hip of the guy on the far right, like that's an interesting shadow. It's cool to look at. The shadow of the leg of the guy on the left with like his leg coming forward, that's interesting to look at. The black pants, like all of those black pants shapes, like if you close or squint your eyes and just try to resolve it to like slices of white, black, and yellow, they look great. They're really interesting.
Yeah.
Nothing is being left, or nothing is being sacrificed to be like a dull section of light, shadow, or color just for the sake of serving the depiction of the image.
Yep. Do you want to look at another one?
Yeah, let's do another one.
Okay, let me get another image. Here we go. Wow.
Hang on, these aren't pirates, and this looks totally different.
It looks totally different. This is from, I think this is actually the second, maybe, or another pretty early thing that he did, which is, it's like the boys' King Arthur.
Yeah.
And this came as a surprise to me when I saw this. What we are looking at here is the meeting of Lancelot and King Arthur.
Yeah, which we're assuming that's King Arthur on the right side and Lancelot on the left.
In the red, because he's got a lion on.
Yeah.
But man, he didn't look too heroic, Abelard. What's going on here?
Yeah, isn't that interesting? So both the figures, again, you have this sense of like real people and real physicality. So both of these figures standing in a tired way, resting their weight in like contrapposto on their swords.
What happened in the story at this point, actually? You probably know this. Come on.
I can tell you what I dimly remember,
yeah,
which is that
that'll do.
King Arthur confronts Lancelot. I think it might be on a bridge, and or maybe I'm just remembering.
It's fine if you're just remembering Excalibur.
John Boorman's incredible movie,
Incredible
Excalibur.
movie, Excalibur. Big recommendation from Abelard and Joe here.
Effusive recommendation.
Yeah.
Anyway, all of Arthur's knights go in to knock Lancelot out of the way because he's doing a classic Arthurian knight, like, you can't come over here until you best me in single combat. And eventually Arthur comes down himself. And I think Lancelot beats him too. And then they have a little conversation, and Arthur finds out more about Lancelot, and Lancelot agrees to serve Arthur. But Arthur doesn't win.
Yeah.
And they're so in this painting, they're physically tired, and their mail, which is rendered as a lot of little pointillist dots, they look like fish scales. You can see where it's chipped away.
Which I don't think would happen. I mean, maybe that would happen to mail. Maybe you could just cut it away like it's fabric or something, but...
Well, scale mail, which would be like little plates, would be attached to some kind of backing, and then chain mail, which is like interlinked like this, you could split chain links, but you wouldn't have like links falling off in the same way, I don't think. I mean, I'm not some medieval combat expert or anything, but
I mean, I like the sort of way it just seems to be kind of like skin tight fish surface on Arthur's legs and stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing, is also mail fits more like a chunky sweater.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Wow.
it doesn't cling.
Wow, that
as
sounds like the world's
sumptuously.
most uncomfortable sweater.
Yeah.
Oof.
And
Yeah.
you probably wouldn't have it coating your legs like that, but that's fine. We're in a different idealized world. I think one thing that's special about this, coming from our modern perspective, is that is just different. A previous era's idea of fantasy, back when I think when fantasy was a little more of a unexplored niche, and it existed in terms of like Arthurian legends and mythology and things like that. But the way these knights are dressed with their like conical helmets and their clingy chainmail and surcoats is very different from how like the average depiction of an Arthurian knight now.
Yeah. 100%. I think this is a weird moment to choose to illustrate. And I've looked at some of the other pictures from this book, and a lot of them, even most of them, have this kind of characteristic where you would think that you would pick a glamorous moment where a knight they're swinging their swords at each other. Every time he does that, he undercuts it somehow.
Yeah.
They never look like pure, just like bright and fanciful heroism. Yeah. It's all more like this. It's all a little. This is, in a way, you could think of this as being kind of like, gritty realism, but without doing the stupid thing where you just put mud and gray clothing on everyone.
Yeah.
This is a sort of gritty realism where the colors are still bright and vibrant and totally unrealistic. It's the realism of like the emotional lives of these characters that's defining what is getting put into this painting. I think that's what he's really interested in here, and maybe the reason that he's chosen this moment as being important is because this relationship between Lancelot and King Arthur is not going to be like, it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, it's a strange, something I think T.H. White picks up in The Once and Future King is that the Arthurian story is a strange, circuitous, emotionally unsatisfying in many ways story about people failing and misunderstanding themselves and one another, and this has some of that. So it's
the fact that our new character that we're supposed to be meeting here, Lancelot, the most beautiful knight, we don't get to see him.
Not only like he's wearing his helmet, but he's also facing away from the viewer, and you would think, okay, well, is that putting us in the viewpoint of Arthur confronting Lancelot? But Arthur isn't really posed and blocked and seated in the composition in such a way that we relate to him either. We're looking at both of them confronting each other, and neither of them seems like our hero.
No.
There's also something really interesting going on with the composition here, where sandwiched between Arthur and Lancelot is all of the rest of the painting. There's a horse lying down, which maybe got knocked over or hurt in a joust, or maybe it's just taking a little horse nap.
Not right. Not surely this isn't the time.
There's somebody else on a horse. There's a sort of leading up to a castle in the distance. The castle...
Note the more beautiful cloud castle behind the reality castle.
Yeah.
Nice touch.
And both of those kind of centered toward Arthur. You could, one way you could think about this is if you follow Lancelot's line of sight, he's looking past Arthur and toward the castle.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right. That's nice. The detail in the background that I really appreciate here is that little guy on the horse who we're just seeing in profile, he's wandered in from a tapestry or something.
Yeah.
And he's not ready for this sort of raw, kind of exhausted realism that's happening with these foreground characters. This is a good painting. It's weird as hell. Look at how, at the bottom of the painting, look at where Lancelot's feet get cut off. That's like a big, no, you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
It doesn't look bad here. Like, it's fine. He's got this working so that it's fine. But that is a weird place to crop the painting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But, you do you and see what you got going on. This one does not have propulsive energy or motion.
No, it's not about that.
It's very still. And I would say that, like, go look at a bunch of his paintings and look at the way people are moving through them, because it's, although they do often have a sort of like sweep of really, really excited motion happening, it's always a little weird. Like, it's always a little off.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're just these things are very individual. All of these works.
Yeah, even though in theory it's, the conventional idea of illustration is that you're serving the work, and you might even anonymize yourself a little bit. Like, I would say no matter what, it cannot help but have somebody's individual viewpoint as part of it, but his seem really individual. He really seems to be coloring the events being depicted by his perspective.
Shall we go to the next piece?
Yeah, let's do the next one.
I'll go get it. Yeah.
So one thing that jumps out to me is like a third painting and a third completely different way of painting light and handling color.
Yep. Yeah. It's great when you get to make art all your life and you keep on figuring out new things you want to do, and wow, because, look at this. So I'm actually, before we even start talking about this, I'm going to go zoom in a little bit, because I actually found a nice, pretty sweet JPEG of this painting. And I'm going to see if I can, this is so hard to do when you're a sock, friends. Look at that. Look at that. You know where I've seen this? In, like, afternoon on the garage yacht.
Yeah.
Over in the Old Art Institute. It's how you paint colors, by just dots of other colors on top of it. He was trying it out. It's fantastic.
It's kind of like vibrating, luminous light.
Yeah, really good.
And then that's confined to the top of the painting. And
it's in the bottom a little bit. Oh, this is so hard. Oh. Sorry, keep talking, Abelard. I'll get it eventually.
Okay. Nope. It's confined to the top of the painting, somewhat, I'll say. And then, as you look further down, there's this strange... I mean, we've talked a lot about the posing here. This has, to me, again, the quality of... I don't know, it seems like they've come into like a landscape painting accidentally, or you were strolling on a beach looking at the nice landscape, and then you look to the left and there's a rapier duel happening.
Oh, what's the narrative? God damn it, they got in the way of my beautiful limpid waters and my stunning evening sunset.
Yeah, but they're completely like washed out and backlit as well.
Yeah. One of the things I notice about the handling of the painting at the bottom part of the image is that the way he has painted the colors of the sand. So normally if you're, I mean, the way that I would like instinctively paint that would be like strokes going crosswise. Because it's like, it's the beach, it's laying down, it goes like this. But instead, what he has done is he has painted them with strokes of paint that are coming towards you. Like the landscape is zooming towards you, it's like the road that you're driving down really fast. And it gives you a sense of this incredible, like things are happening too fast. Like it's just coming at you. Like you're going to be involved in whatever this confrontation between the fighting men is. And all of their motion is going like this way. But then the beach is like streaming towards you. It's really excellent, and it's a weird decision to make. It's just cool as hell.
I love the way the light on the water is painted here. And I love the way that the pools of water are echoed by what look like kind of thrown off coats or something from the duelists.
Yeah, it's just, this is just a really, really good, really assured piece. We were talking earlier about how he did not by the end of his life, he's like, I hate illustrations.
Yeah.
I hate doing this. I just want to be a landscape painter. Stupid illustration work, stupid commercial work.
Yep.
And I would counter argument from me is that like the I think you can see in this piece the frustration with having to put a fight scene in the landscape, but I think that both the landscape and the fight scene are, I think the fact that he had to do both of these things made this a better piece than it would have been otherwise. I think if you took out the weird landscape or you took out the fighting guys, this would be like 50% less interesting.
Yeah, I think it's a complicated, contradictory piece, and if those contradictions were foisted on it by the material realities of his life, that's okay. Although I root for a world where everyone gets to do exactly what they want.
Yeah, whatever. That would be good. You know. Anyway, I love this.
Yeah.
It's really, really something.
The tiny section in the midground of everybody's feet and legs is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Well, should we look at one more piece?
Yeah, let's do one more.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is what he liked to do if you let him off the leash.
Yeah. This is not an illustration of a book about a guy who caught a lot of fish in his boat. This is just...
This is just N.C. Wyeth gets to do what he wants today.
Yeah.
And this is what he wants to do.
That's what he likes.
It's really, really... Wow, what a nice painting. Here's one thing. What exquisite bird positioning. Just perfect. If you're making a painting and you want to put some birds in, let me tell you, every bird in a painting, if you don't do it just right, it looks so dumb. Because they kind of like sit on the landscape like stickers, and it's like oh you left that space blank. You're gonna put a bird up there. You think I'm not gonna notice? You just put that bird up there just to fill up some space, huh?
Yeah.
Looks pretty dumb. Not this one.
I would say that the 3 foregroundmost birds are load-bearing.
Yes.
The 2 in the top right, and certainly the 1 in the bottom left. If you blot out any of those with your thumb, I think the picture suffers.
Yep. Yes, every bird is necessary, or this painting just collapses into a pile of sticks.
Yeah. I think you could say that this painting is about handling multiples.
Mm-hmm.
Handling a lot of birds, handling
a lot of fish.
A lot of fish.
So many fish.
And handling 4 guys, 4 sets of oars, and 4 boats. Yeah. And there are a lot of sophisticated relationships between those multiple. Like, it's a very dense painting.
Yeah. In a way, and it's almost like, if you think about it, it kind of seems like a kind of funny joke where they're like, usually instead of the silvery water of the sea, we've turned that all black, and we've replaced it with the silvery water that is made of fish. So the fish that the man stands in are treated as someone might treat, the ocean scene or the waves, as though he's a giant standing upon the ocean. He's lifting this bounty of fish, but all of that is kind of undercut by how exhausted and regular your fishermen look.
Yeah.
They're not thinking about like the sea's bounty. They're thinking about how they're gonna finish this job. They're gonna go have a drink.
Yeah. How much money can I get for these fish?
God, I'm so tired.
Yeah.
God, the seagulls are coming. Ugh.
I hate when the seagulls come in and caw at me. Yeah.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
And that's I don't know. They sort of like it is ordinary and beautiful all at once. This is one of those this is the viewpoint of someone who is, I don't know, I guess something an artist can show you when they're really on it, which is like, look at this ordinary thing. In our times, this would no longer be an ordinary scene, but I'm sure in his time this was just something you could go down to the seashore and look at.
Yeah.
And he is making it huge and showing us the beauty of it. The ordinary, everyday, like, glory of boat full of fish, silver light on the fish, arrangement of birds. Figures so that you don't feel like you're, you know, like, hey, you're there too. To
Well,
look around you.
The figures also cross-cut with the boats to complicate the composition and give it kind of a through line running top left to bottom right. Like they're doing pictorial work. And it's also satisfying for people to look at pictures of people.
Yeah, I love to do it. Yeah. And of course, the great painters of socks, their work really speaks to me.
Yeah.
We'll have to feature some of them. Someday.
Yeah, we'll get some of those one of these
worry.
days.
Yep. Yeah, anything else you want to say about this piece?
We already talked a lot about the multiples. I think the oars are interesting here because they're strong lines. And so just looking how the oars are scattered through this painting, what they do in the painting, where they move your eyes around to.
Yeah, it's nice when you can get a lot of objects that are basically big, long, straight sticks in your composition, because you can kind of just essentially build a scaffolding out of them to, or you know, they're basically arrows that are telling your eyes where to go as you look at the painting. It's basically, you basically just put a little map for your eyes to follow down in here, so it's good. But also, you know, their oars look cool. Colors are beautiful. The blackness of the water, man, it's so good. You fall right in there. But it's nice and cold. But it's cold in those fish too.
Sounds great.
It's pretty hot up here.
Set me down
I
in the
gotta
fish.
say, I would if I had the opportunity.
Hot in the apartment.
Would I lay down on those fish? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it's pretty. I bet they don't smell too good.
Well, everybody.
Well, it's time for us to say farewell.
Yeah.
Hope you're doing okay. If you're not doing okay, I guess try lying down on a pile of fish. See if that helps.
Mm-hmm. And until next time, keep on
on
dreaming. I'll say it this time.
We're good. You said
Okay.
it enough.
Okay.